Good evening. We are live. We are going to talk about the latest news in immigration. We are going to be talking about the latest news in immigration. I wanted to be live around 6 p.m., but I figure I should just go ahead and start because I have a lot to do. Let me know where are you joining me from. Let me know. Check in, let me know where you're joining me from. We are going to be talking about the latest in immigration news. If you're new to my channel, just go ahead and subscribe. Yes, so we are talking about the latest news when it comes to immigration. Say hi in the comment. Let me know where are you joining me from. Let me know in the comment. Where are you joining me from? We are live to this evening, Saturday, lovely Saturday evening. We are going to be really talking about the latest news. Let me share my screen. After we talk about it from Philadelphia, hello. Hi from Los Angeles. Oh my goodness. Hello from Maryland. Oh, that's great. I am in Maryland, DC area. Yes. Yeah, let's talk about the latest news first. Then we'll take questions. Okay. Let me share my screen. We're gonna cover all the latest news. Then we're gonna talk about immigration reform, what's going on with those Democrat, Republicans, so forth. Let's get right into it. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Just give me one moment. Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Uh, I want to start with DACA. Okay. Let's start with DACA. Biden White House preparing to take executive action to protect DACA. We know DACA, the so-called Dreamers. We have the administration is pressing for likely court ruling that will end the program, which has shielded more than 600,000 immigrants from deportation. So DACA is actually in danger. We already know that. So what's going on is, if you know what's going on, the Biden administration started. They came out with a policy to fortify DACA, but it's not really going to happen in terms of if this court ends DACA. Um, so what's going on is that we are waiting for the ruling of the Fifth Circuit Court in Louisiana. Okay, so planning has intensified in recent days ahead of a decision on the program future from the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. That's in Louisiana. A panel of judges. They're almost all of them are Republicans, and most likely, according to all the news, most likely they're going to rule DACA illegal. Okay, so because in Texas they already ruled it illegal, and the Biden administration appealed, um, and now it's we're waiting for this court, this Fifth Circuit Court, to rule on DACA. Okay, we are waiting, but they already gave us a hint, right? They said that it's pretty much like they're going, most likely they're going to rule that DACA is illegal, and this Biden administration will eventually appeal to the Supreme Court. But if you look at this article, even the Supreme Court is more likely to uh, side with this Fifth Circuit Court, because the Supreme Court is conservative. We know the majority are conservative, and they are going to basically go with the Trump thinking, you know, that DACA is illegal. So the planning for a possible court defeat echo a strategy that administration tried to use after Supreme Court overturned Roe this way 3 months ago. So what they're saying is that if they go to Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rule against DACA, they are going to go with the strategy that they used after this Roe versus Wade was overturned. So they're going to give the power to the states, and each state is going to see if they're going to implement the program or not. So that's what they're planning, because they already know that the Fifth Circuit Court ruled unfavorably towards this Biden administration position previously in a related case. And then they know that the Supreme Court is most likely to follow the Fifth Circuit Court. So in other words, in conclusion, DACA is in danger. So we are waiting this decision in coming days, probably next week. So in the few days, in the coming days, we will have the decision on DACA. Most likely, this Biden administration will appeal to the Supreme Court. But we already know, according to those reports, even the Supreme Court most likely will side with the Fifth Circuit Court. And the Biden administration is preparing in terms of after the facts. Okay, what are they going to do? They are going to actually, basically, they're going to actually just go with what they did after Roe versus Wade. So they're going to give the power to the states and the state to add, to actually act. So DACA is in danger. If you're a DACA recipient, what I really encourage you is to look at other possibilities, especially if you have higher education. Higher education, you can look into NYW, which is the national interest waiver type of petition. We've been petitioning a lot for DACA recipients. You can look into EB1, extraordinary ability petition. Really, you can look even into EB3, and because of DACA right now, at least you can file for advance parole and try to get oversee for consular processing. Well, if in the meantime the process is still going, because if the Fifth Circuit Court rule against it, it's gonna eventually go to the court, Supreme Court, and then in the meantime somebody can do something until the final decision, right? So this is something to actually think about when it comes to DACA. Okay, then we go to this Senate Democrats introduced immigration registry bill to provide pathway to citizenship for millions. You know, this thing they've been trying for a while now, but at least they introduced the bill. It's only 2 pages bill in the House, and this is the bill, 2 pages only, clearly saying that 7 years, if you've been living for at least 7 years to the U.S., you can come forward and register for a green card if this becomes law, right? It's still at its earlier stage. I wanted to talk about it too. And then the other thing is that Republicans are focusing, the midterms are coming, and the Republicans are more focusing on controlling the House. Because remember, right now it's 50-50 in the Senate. And then the House is controlled by Democrats. So now the Republicans are hoping to control the House and to control the Senate so that they can take control of this administration. Really, if they control both the House and the Senate, it's going to be hard for those Democrats to pass anything. That's what we will know in November. So, and their plan really is more about focusing on the border security. Really, that's major on them. Rebuilding the wall, the Trump wall, they want to rebuild it. That's what it is. Let me go back here. That's their plan, right? Their plan is Republican plot immigration moves if they control the House. If they control the House, what they're going to do, they will restart the construction on border wall, because that's the main problem, border security. They have to control the border security, and they will undo Biden era immigration policy, which means like the deportation will be back as usual, stuff like that. and ramp up oversight. So that's their program if they control the House. Okay, and we will know for sure in November. That's what's going on in terms of immigration reform and stuff like that. Then we have some other, at least good news. We're gonna go with USCIS. The first news is that USCIS awards fiscal year 2022 citizenship and integration grant. So they're giving grants to organizations to help people apply. Like, you know, when you go to a nonprofit, for example, for them to apply for you for free, so the government is giving grants so they can help out. Then we have the extension of temporary waiver of 60-day hold for surgeon signature of Form I-693. We know that for the green card application, if you file the green card application and you do the examination, usually it's supposed to be by the time you get the signature for the doctor, you have to file within 60 days. But they are actually taking it like they can take for more than 60 days before you apply. So they pretty much waiving that 60-day hold requirement. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. USCIS extend green card validity extension to 24 months for green card renewals. If you apply for Form I-90, they are going to extend it for at least 24 months. Because remember, the extension was only for 1 year. Now they're extending it for 24 months, which means you can have that expired green card and the extension letter if you want to travel outside of the US. Pretty much that's really good. And then we have USCIS stops accepting CWI petition under the Disaster Recovery Workforce Act. They just stopped, no longer taking applications under this category. And then we have Burma has been redesignated for temporary protected status, okay? From November 26, 2022 to May 25th, 2024. That's about it for news. That's about it. The major one is DACA. You have to watch out. In the coming weeks, the decision will come. And here on the USCIS website, we have pretty much like normal great news. Then just watch out in November, really. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, then just watch out in November when it comes to who's going to take control of the House and who's going to take control of the Senate. That's how we will know for sure how this immigration is going to go, based on who has control. So let me take some questions here, answer some questions. Akif Virani, if the registry bill does not pass in Congress, do you think President Biden will use EO, executive orders? Well, President Biden can do executive orders, but remember those executive orders are subject to be challenged in federal court. So any circuit court can bring this administration and challenge them the same way they're challenging DACA, the same way they have challenged prosecutorial discretion orders, the same way they've challenged deportation orders. So they'll challenge it. It's better for it to pass in Congress and become law than to do executive order. Hello. Hi. From California. Hi, how are you? JD14 was approved in November 2021. I-485 was sent in May 2022. And August 2022 case was transferred to NVC and revived I-692 deficiency medical. When can I expect a green card interview? I do not have JD14. After you do the I-693, the examination, it's just a matter of waiting. I can't really give you an idea when you're going to expect it, but the way you will know is to look at the processing time for green card based on family, okay? You look at the time you actually apply for your green card, right? And then you look at family base, how long it's taking, the average. Based on that, that's how you will know when exactly. If it's taking 2 years, then you look at the day you apply and today's date. Has it 2 years has passed? So the average time for family-based green card petition, that's the time frame you go with. I can't really tell you like exactly the time because I don't know. So what is the latest effort made by Congress to reduce the visa backlog? Yeah, Pedro, to be quite frank with you, what they're doing is when it comes to, for example, to employment base, what they're doing under EB1 and EB2, they're taking processing, how do you call it? Premium processing for certain applications, um, dated for certain dates. So the fact that they're taking processing, premium processing for those categories will make things go at least fast. That's number one they're doing. Another thing they're doing is when it comes to work permit, they're extending the extension letter is extending the time. For green card, they've done the same thing too. The extension letter is now for 24 months. That's about it, right? Beside that, I haven't seen anything else. They say they will hire more judges, immigration judges. They've hired a lot, especially in Maryland. They opened a new court here in Hyattsville, Maryland. So they hire a lot of judges, a few, so to make things move, you know. HST bill will pass this year. My friend, I don't know. They just introduced it to the House. Yeah, but Vicaria, you just need to watch. Really, just watch how the midterms election is going to go in November, after November 8th, and see who has control of what, Republicans or Democrats. That's how you will know how things will go. How long does it take for juvenile case? Juvenile case takes, first of all, for juvenile case, the visa is not immediately available, right? So you apply for I-360, you look at processing time for I-360, and then after that, you apply for the green card. So it takes some time. Not sure how long, but it takes some time. You can go on USCIS.gov and look at processing time for I-360. How many chances registry will pass? Again, it's just about who has control. So if the Democrats control the House and the Senate, then most likely it will pass because then they will vote for it. But if the Republicans take control of the House and the Senate, forget that. They're not going to let it pass. So that's pretty much it. Any more questions? I think we've covered pretty much everything, right? Yeah, I wanted to wait until 6 p.m., but I just said that I should go and do it because Macdin, what is your question? I don't see your question here. You don't answer my question. I don't see it. Where's your question? How long does T visa take? Oh, my friend, T visa takes about 4 years. Yeah. It's almost like U visa. It takes a long time. 4 years, I will say the minimum. 4 years. Rita, Henry, I think 4 years. Macdin, I don't see your question here. Where did you post your question? Macdin. Oh, okay. I have my case approval. Can I apply to get my travel in 3 months? Can you get travel documents in 3 months? No way. How are you going to get it in 3 months? Look at the average processing time for travel documents. It's like 10 months. That's the average. It can go up to 14 months. You can try expedited request and hope it gets granted. That's it. Maxime, I think I answered your question now. Hi, how are you? The DV lottery visa photo is same like passport photo. Yes, yes, it is the same as the US passport photo. Yes, I believe so. Alice Gambao. Yes. Like if you're in the US, you can go to Go Green and get it. You're welcome, Macdean. You're welcome. Anybody else? Any more questions? Yeah, if there's no questions, I am just gonna stop here because it's Saturday. Everybody's trying to rest. We'll catch up Monday. You're welcome. We'll catch up Monday with more immigration. Yeah, let's just like for when it comes to immigration reform, what the only thing you have to remember is this, right? Everybody on the Democrats want to do this, the Republicans want to do this. If they control the House, the Republican control the House and the Senate, they'll do their reform. If the Democrats are able to control the House and the Senate, then they'll pass their reform as well. So let's just look at what's going to happen on November 8th. Who's going to control what? Based on that, then we will see for sure where things are going. But as far as I know, I can't really tell you because we have to wait and see how things are going to go. Okay. So I guess that's it. Ozi Olai. I enter without inspection, placing removal proceeding and later terminate removal proceeding and asylum. After Mary Cide, she abused me and filed for VAWA. With can I travel out? With a travel document, you gotta have advance parole. Aziz Aloaye, you can travel if advance parole is granted. If you don't have travel advance parole, how are you going to travel? You'll be stuck outside. So you can travel with advance parole if it's granted. And for you, in order for you to apply for advance parole, you have to have a green card application pending. Especially in your case, green card application pending. Then you can file the form I-131. So if you get granted, yes, then you can travel. You cannot travel with VAWA with nothing. Either you have a green card or you have advance parole to travel. That's it. Ola I, did you get it? You have you have advanced travel parole. Yeah, if you have advanced travel parole, yes, you can travel. But remember, advanced parole, it clearly says that it's not guaranteed you're going to come back, right? So depending on what you're going to do, where you're going, and how long you're going to stay there. If, for example, you're outside, then your case gets decided here negatively, then you'll be stuck outside. So you really have to balance it yourself and see what's really important to you. Is traveling important or is waiting for your green card important? Yeah, you enter without inspection the first time, and then you apply for VAWA. You know, VAWA and green card enter without inspection. VAWA is an exception for it. You can adjust status inside of the U.S., provided that your VAWA gets granted, right? If the VAWA is approved, yes, you can adjust because of VAWA, enter without inspection is forgiven, you see? But what we're talking about here is about you traveling with advance parole. It's a risk. That's all I can say about it. It's a risk because you don't know if you're going to come back. Enter without inspection is not the problem when you apply for VAWA. If VAWA get approved, yes, you can adjust status inside of the U.S. That's one of the exceptions for enter without inspection. We have VAWA exception, we have 245I exception, and we have U visa exception for people who enter without inspection. So any more questions? Now today I'm available for questions. Nobody's asking the questions, and then they'll be calling. If you call, you have to pay for consultation. This is the time when I take free questions. So I guess that's it for today. It's 26 minutes. Thank you for joining. It was nice talking to you, answering some questions. If you need the consultation, again, the link is in the description box. Until next time, bye-bye.